Welcome, adventure seekers. We're uncommon voyagers, otherwise known as Mandy and Greg, Brisbane, Australia's almost empty nesters, about to turn our midlife crisis into an Italian escapade. Our mission? Spend 2025 getting ready to make the life-changing move to Italy. We'll be juggling home renovations, Italian house hunting, planning slow travel, prepping our kids to survive without us, and cramming our entire life into 2 suitcases. If you love big dreams with a sprinkling of chaos, we'd love for you to come along for the ride. Hit subscribe. It'll be bellissimo.
So the next place that I actually really want to talk about is Fara San Martino. So I have mentioned in previous videos that I have some little, hot spots that I'm really invested in. So I love Sulmona, I love Prezza, Fara San Martino, Penna Piedemonte, and for a bit of a more modern town, I'm actually also thinking that Chieti is a big contender for me. However, a lot of their stuff is, a lot of their offerings are much more modern, and I'm wanting to go for the more traditional village home in a small hill town. So Chieti might be something that it happens because they do have some more traditional houses there, but at the moment, apart from Prezza, which, and again, I will be looking for other houses in Prezza. My other kind of favorite is Fara San Martino. So when we went there in October, we actually saw three houses in Fara San Martino, and it's actually it's where De Cecco pasta is. So it's a really famous little town because that's where this famous pasta comes from, and the water is crystal clear, and I think they use the water to make their pasta and all that sort of stuff. So it does have a bit of infrastructure there, and it does have I'll put the population in the video somewhere. I'll have little pop-ups occur so that you know what I'm talking about as I'm saying them, and I'll probably do this and it's probably pointing on the wrong side, but it doesn't matter. You'll get my drift. So we did see 3 homes there, and there was one which was I actually really liked. It was a real rabbit warren, and it was on kind of multiple levels because it was built into the side of a hill, and it had a little bit of a Juliet balcony, and Greg took a picture of me on the Juliet balcony, and it was very cute. And although it did have good views, it also overlooked what used to be I think there used to be like a theatre. However, they've knocked the theatre down so that they can put in parking. And so we're standing in this home looking at some lovely views, but basically the view that we would have had for quite some time and then for future would be of a car park, which I have no interest in doing. So as much as I like the house, I have no interest at all in overlooking a car park if I can help it. Although having car parking is super handy in these towns, I don't want to look at it. So that was automatically, even though I like the house, we ruled that one out. Then the second one we went to was absolutely ramshackle. So much work to do. They would have needed new electrics. It would have needed new plumbing. But it just had the most amazing roof terrace, and I loved it. That was another one where I just went, I love this one. And I stood on the roof terrace, and then the church bells started ringing, and I just went, look at this, and I'm looking at the mountains, and it was just amazing. So I looked at that one, I went, I really love this. Now, unfortunately, I suffer from vertigo, and I don't know why, but I'm standing on this roof terrace, and it decided to hit me at that moment. So I don't suffer from vertigo in terms of being afraid of heights. I actually get vertigo. It'll just hit me. And the next thing you know, I'm dizzy and it's awful. So I usually have to go and sit down and close my eyes to get rid of it. So, among other things. So I'm standing on the roof terrace and I'm loving it, and then the vertigo hit. So Greg actually helped me out of the house because there were a lot of steps in it. And then I actually went and sat down. So I didn't actually go into the third house, but I'd fallen in love with, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this one in Fara San Martino. So I loved the one in Prezzo, and then I love this one in Fara San Martino. And then because I had vertigo, I was just sitting on the steps outside of a church, actually. I was just sitting on the church steps, and Greg went in and videotaped the third house in Fara San Martino. So I'm not sure if that one's sold yet. It probably has, because it was actually really good and it was right in the piazza. But I actually emailed Dave Benton from A Home in Italy I would say when we got home from our trip and just said, I've been thinking about it, and I actually really, really love the second house that we saw in Fara San Martino. And he said everyone loved that one and they put an offer in it on that day. So there's something to be said for, if you're like, oh, I love that, if you can do it and you can make an offer on that day, then do it, because people will jump on it if it speaks to them. So I was a little bit disappointed about that. So the third one that I didn't go in to see, Greg took video, and then I believe that Dave has done a video for that one. I don't know if it's sold yet, but if it has, I'll actually put in here that it has sold it, because I'll find out after I do this video. So there is that. So basically all of them might have been sold in Fara San Martino. I'm not sure about the first one, but because of the car park, I'm not interested in that one. I do go onto websites called Idealista, a website called Idealista, and it's really good for if you're looking at properties, I believe in Portugal and Italy and maybe Spain. I think it's mostly those three for Idealista. Anyway, that's where I also look for properties. So I've been looking on Idealista, and there's actually a house that is speaking to me. I love where it is. I love that it has potential for, say, a roof terrace, and however, there'll be a lot of work to do. So this is another one that will need new electrics, new plumbing, I would say, like a complete overhaul. Like that would be a whole other YouTube channel just fixing the place up. But I mean, I haven't told Greg yet. He actually wants to go and retire and rest, and I'll probably have him slaving away on doing up houses in Italy, which I'll break to him when he watches this video. Anyway, I'll put a link to that one in the video, because there's so much potential there. Like I looked at it and went, there's so much I feel like I could do to this one. So if I see any others, I'll pop some links in and just kind of go, and explain what I think, like in the description of the YouTube video. But yeah, I'm not sure if the third house that we actually physically, like that Greg went in and videoed and saw when we were physically in Fara San Martino, is still available. But even if it isn't, I actually feel like the one I found on Idealista is better. So this isn't an ad for a home in Italy or for Dave Benton at all, but he will do like the full service thing. I explained this in I think in my first video, where he will help you get a Codis Fiscale. He will go and videotape it for you. These things cost money. It's not for free, obviously. He's running a business, which is perfect and fine, I'm really happy that he does that. So yeah, we may actually look at getting him to go and do a video of that one, because photos are great, that's no problem at all, but it would be really awesome if someone could go and do a video, and he will say if things are wrong. Like he will point out things that you don't even see in videos, where he'll say, looks like there's a leak there, or maybe the tiles on the roof need to be fixed, or he will let you know if the boiler needs to be updated, or any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that might be something that we could engage him to do. He's super duper busy, and we would hope that he can do it, but yeah, it's something that we might ask. Greg's not really 100% on board. He's seen the pictures, but I guess without me even saying anything, he does know that it's not going to renovate itself. And again, we're on a budget and we have limited funds, so we would be doing, the bulk of the work. And while we can do elbow grease, it'll still be, electrics and plumbing and stuff. The good news is that those types of trades can also be recommended to us. Dave has people that he can recommend, or a lot of villagers will, the people who live in the village can also kind of recommend people, or they may offer their own services or help anyway. So yeah, it is a consideration that this particular house that I really like from Idealista is quite dilapidated, but based on the price, we could have, I don't think that we would struggle to get the things fixed that we need to. I may be dreaming, but I could just be totally off with the fairies and not realize how much things actually cost over there. But from what I've been told and what I've heard, is that things are actually very affordable when it comes to getting things like getting tradespeople to come in and assist you, or just getting general labour to come in and assist you. So if we're thinking about it, even though I tend to double the cost of everything when I'm like in my head, I'm thinking Australian dollars. So I usually just, if I see euros or US dollars or pounds, I just double it. It's a little less than that, but if I double, then, you know, at least I'm not underestimating. So yeah, I'll put some links in for that one. I'll pop some little pictures up as I'm talking. But I like the layout. I love the potential for a roof terrace, and I know that the views would just be absolutely awesome. And I'm really in it for a view. It'd have to be a pretty special place for me to decide that that's the main contender without a view. For instance, there would have to be so many other things that I absolutely that I'm obsessed with to rule out like not having any views and it potentially being called a street scene, which is, you know, you're just seeing other houses, you don't have any views. So but one of the other big selling points of Fara San Martino is that it does have more infrastructure, have buses, and unlike Prezza, which kind of runs on the school buses timetable, so you would really need a car in a perfect world. Fara San Martino doesn't have that it wouldn't be a restriction for me, and it does fit my criteria of it having public transport that's easy to access. So yeah, I will pop some things in this video and put some links in if anyone's interested in taking a look. Any questions, let me know. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, I appreciate people coming along for the ride. I'm loving that I'm getting some questions sent through to me. I'm happy to answer any questions. And please subscribe. Liking, I think, does the most. Subscribing is great because then you'll be alerted when we bring out new videos. And, you know, share if there's anyone that you think might be interested in this. So I would love to have an actual YouTube channel before we go, and really bring people along on this journey with us. And as I always say, well, I may not say it forever, but for now, even if it's just me that goes back and looks at this in a year, I may entertain myself, or it'll be nice to know, you know, to have documented the journey. So anyway, thanks again. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.